Just for going?
Good morning. Today we fly back from Mauritius to London. I've just had an interaction at the check-in gate, which was weird. They asked if they could take my chair now to get it onto the plane, and I used one of their wheelchairs in the airport. I said no, because that like takes away my independence in the airport. Like I wouldn't be able to move independently, because with this wheelchair I obviously use my own handles and manually push myself places, but with the airport one someone has to push you. So yeah, but previously I probably would have been a bit more like, oh yeah, of course, like yeah, take my wheelchair. But no, I've learned from people's previous experiences that I've seen online that you stick with your guns and you keep your wheelchair with you all the way out to the gate, and then you give them your chair. It's the way everyone else has done it.
It is delivered at aircraft in.
I'm confused because this airport doesn't have like a special assistance desk. So it just looks like we're heading to security without having met anyone from special assistance. So it looks like we just go through ourselves, which is the first time I've ever done that at an airport. But obviously we're in a different country, so it always works slightly different wherever you go, but I've sort of got used to it working in that someone meets us and takes us through.
Special assistance.
We went up to that information desk and the lady offered a lot of instruction, but none of it appeared very helpful. So we've just ended up coming on our own without an assistance person, because everyone sees my wheelchair and just knows that I'm wheelchair assistance.
What do you think, Ellie?
I just think there's normally an assistance place.
Yeah.
There isn't. It wasn't mandated, it was there. It wasn't operators.
So we need to try and find either someone else in a wheelchair or ask that lady at that desk, right?
Okay. It does say closed.
That security was an absolute mess.
What?
No one told us where to go. She just watched us, sit by the side and let everyone go in front of us. Like the pilots, the stewardesses, they were all going past us in like what looked like the way we should have been going. And then they opened a second lane to let a pilot in, but we weren't allowed to use that, but no one told us. And then I had to put my bag down and then go back through the queue to go the other side for a different door, to just sit there for a bit. And then the guy was like, oh, someone will come and pat you. And I was like, okay. And then like a while later she came and patted me. It's very odd. A random man came and found me and told me I've got to board in 9 minutes at the gate because we've got to do it early. But the flight isn't for another hour, so I don't know why they need to board me so early. He also doesn't have any vest on, like he looks completely unofficial, and he's just caught us at the cafe. So it's very odd. Just as the guy came over, my stepdad was paying for the food. So I've got mozzarella and tomato and a chocolate eclair in there. I've got 3 minutes in which to eat it to then board the plane an hour earlier than everybody else. Oops. This whole thing is so silly, and now we're speeding to the gate. We're at gate 22 and 21, we're at 19, so only 2 gates that way. We made it onto the plane, but I can safely say that was the worst boarding experience I've had so far. Many different people came and found us at many different points. None of them introduced themselves, none of them told me what they were doing. They just went, you do this, you do that, what flight are you on? And that was it. And then getting onto the actual flight, they tried to fold the wheelchair. I told them it didn't fold. They said, can you walk in a plane? I said, yes. They went, are you sure you can walk in a plane? I went, yes. They went, you walk in the plane? I went, yes. So we got here. Again, at the boarding control thing, they let another lady into the gate first, which was odd, like in the middle of us. Like they do the family of 4 and then they did me and my mum and then put another lady through, which was just odd. And then 2 people met us on the way and were like, can you walk on the plane? I was like, yes, I can walk on the plane. Then we got to the plane and they all watched me stand up and walk as I said I could. And then they tried to take my wheelchair away. They tried to fold it. I said, it doesn't fold. Tried to fold it again. I said, it doesn't fold. He went, are there any batteries? I went, no. Because he'd only asked me 10 seconds before if there was any batteries. And I said, no batteries. So ultimately confusing. Oh, they also handed me the cushion of my wheelchair, which they didn't do last time. They've never done before. I know that some people do take their wheelchair cushions, but I never have. So now I've just put it on the floor down there. We've got a wheelchair cushion. We just had a little family discussion, me, my mum and my brother. And basically, my brother said a very good statement that it's not that I was treated badly, it's that I wasn't treated. Like, at no point was I offered assistance. It's just so weird. And I feel like ultimately it should have been the first lady that we checked in with at the desk should have said, let me call assistance for you. Because at every other airport I've been to, as soon as you walk into the airport, there is a big sign with a big eye or a big wheelchair on it, and it points you towards a desk where all the assistance people wait. But that wasn't here, there wasn't one. And then at no point did anyone actually offer assistance. Even when we went to the information desk and asked for assistance, she basically told us to go back to check in and check in again, which we'd already done. So I'm just very confused. This flight is a long flight. We've got, I think, 10 hours here, and then we get to Vienna and we have to change in Vienna, where hopefully they're going to bring my wheelchair to this airplane, and then I get, Bob's just crossed his fingers for me. That's how we're feeling at the minute. Hopefully they bring the wheelchair to the airplane door, and then I can use that in the Vienna airport and then get on the next flight. All good. So let's all just keep our fingers crossed and pray to any god we want to pray to, because that's the only control we have at this moment. And that's the scary thing about flying as a wheelchair user, is you literally have no control whatsoever. I've flown, this is probably, what, my sixth flight with the wheelchair. I feel like I sort of know what's going on now. Not today. My mum just asked me, now that that bit's over, how do I feel for the rest of the flight? And I said, actually, it makes me more nervous, because now I sort of have an expectation that the next bit's going to go wrong, and that the transfer's not going to be good, and the bit after's going to go wrong. Because Mum thought I'd be more relaxed now that we're on the flight. Hopefully the wheelchair's on the flight below me. She thought I'd be chilled and happy that we're here. But actually, I'm just more nervous for the rest of it now, because when the first bit goes right, you sort of build your trust in the system and the stewardesses and everyone that it's going to go well. But I don't have that, so we'll see how the next bit goes. I found the positive, and the positive is it's a wheelchair accessible bathroom. So in the door you've got space where they can roll the chair in. You've got a grab rail. And then a cool button there, and a cool button there. So that's pretty handy.
At the moment the line southeasterly wind, only few clouds in the air.
We rang the bell up there to try and get the stewards to come and see us, to tell them that we've got a connecting flight and see if they can let us know when the wheelchair is at the thing. But it's been on for about 10 minutes and no one's come down yet. We're landing soon, so I'm sure they're busy, but it's slightly annoying. They just came round to check our seatbelts, and we collared her, and we basically said, can you let us know when the chair's there? And she said, basically no, because everyone else has to get off before me. We didn't get in depth, like the fact that I can see the door of the aeroplane from here, and I can walk to it. So yeah, because obviously having a connecting flight, being the last off the plane, isn't ideal, especially if the chair's sat there waiting. Like last time, the chair was sat there waiting for quite some time for me, because I didn't know it was there, and I did wait for everyone to get off. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens. We've landed, and now we wait for everyone to get off, and then I get off. You know what's not here? It's more a wheelchair.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So when we got to this airport, we're in Vienna now, we had to do whole security again, which we didn't have to do on the way out, which was interesting. Apparently extra security on the way back, who knows why. And then we got back in the bus. Luckily, so I think you saw, when we got off of the aeroplane, my wheelchair was not there. My wheelchair was not in the ambulift, and it's always in the ambulift, but that time it wasn't. So I was very worried, thought it wasn't going to be there, thought it might have gone to the wrong place. The guy tried to get me to use his wheelchair in the airport, and I said, no, we've said my wheelchair is coming with me at every point in between every flight. But we're back. We've got hairs, we're good, we're good. And now, go and get on another flight. And now I'm in the most accessible bathroom I've ever seen. The doors open with that, and it opens automatically. This has an image of how to use it, and the sink also has an image because it looks like it raises up further. How good. We had assistants meeting us here. He told us to be here by past, so we rushed. I didn't get any food, and now it's 22, so he's 10 minutes late, and everyone else is supposed to be boarding now as well. So let's see if he turns up. We found him and they scanned our boarding passes, but then he said the 4 of us can't get on together. He has to take 2 of us, and then 2 of us have to board normally, which is also completely different to the last time we flew here, and different from any time we've ever flown as a family before. It's actually too late in the day for me to even care now. We're on the final flight. I'm back. I'm in London. The plane is nearly empty, and I'm hoping my chair's there. My chair's not here. So apparently the guy was here, and the steward told him that there's someone else on the plane with a wheelchair, because there was 2 of us in wheelchairs on the plane. But she used the wheelchair they provide, and my wheelchair was obviously on the plane. So now we've got off, and this guy ain't nowhere to be seen. So the steward said maybe just wait here and see if he comes back. The irony of having to be the last one off the plane is that they don't wait for you. Getting off the plane was also not good, to the point where the first officer who helped fly the plane came out to apologise. We made it through the airport with absolutely no help from airport assistance whatsoever, because he wanted to take my wheelchair back off me to use his buggy thing. You know, like they've got the like golf cart type things that take people through the airports. But I have my own wheelchair, and he was like, does it fold? And I was like, no. And he was like, okay, well, you can't come on it then. And I was like, okay. And then he was like, well, you can come on it, but we have to give your wheelchair back. And I was like, no. The amount of times I've nearly lost my wheelchair in this journey alone, it's proven too much for my little brain to handle. So we walked ourselves through the airport, walked ourselves through passport control, walked ourselves through baggage, and now we're walking ourselves to the car. I feel like that's the positive thing about me bringing my own wheelchair. In the airport, everyone sees it, it's obvious you're in a wheelchair. Whereas if you have to wait for them to bring the airport wheelchairs, you could be waiting a good long time.
Just waiting for lift. Special assistance has come straight out to help us. Here it is.
You can't see me, it's dark, I'm in the car, I'm heading home. We'll reflect on this tomorrow because I'm going to bed. It's 11:30 at night. In my brain I'm on Mauritian time, which means it's 2:30, 3:30 in the morning. I'm not here for it, that was a stressful journey. I'll see you tomorrow. It's now many weeks later and it's the evening. I'm just editing this video and I realised I never actually finished it out or reflected on it. And that's because it is just so draining. Every situation with the wheelchair drains all the energy out of me. Because I'm someone who's, like, I'm up for making change. I'm up for helping people understand. I'm up for that. But it just seems constant and it just seems like it's the same with everything where no matter how hard you try or no matter what you do in advance, something goes wrong somewhere and it all falls apart. And you're the one who just has to put up with the situation. And it's just so frustrating. So yeah, what happened there was we got off the plane and my wheelchair was nowhere to be seen and special assistants were nowhere to be seen, as I said. But my brother decided to walk down the corridor to like into the airport, and my wheelchair had just been left in a corridor at the side of the corridor. I don't understand how that happens. I actually don't understand how that ends up happening. No one there at all. Everyone had got off the flight. Special assistance was long gone. And he found my wheelchair. So my brother came and brought that to us. As I said, the first officer came to apologise for the whole situation. At that point, we started to head through the airport and then special assistants found us. Like, we happened to pass him. And he went, oh, that was your chair. Like, you were on the flight. And I was like, yeah, like, we booked it online and everything. Like, you knew that we were there. And then he offered me to go on his golf buggy. But at that point, he said I had to leave my wheelchair again, which I was not up for doing. So we just walked through the airport together, me and my family. And he went off with his golf buggy full of people. And then we'd done the airport. We'd completed it. We were on our way to the car. We were getting into the car park. And the same airport assistance guy comes out of nowhere to press the button for us to get on the lift, to offer his assistance. And I just found it so funny because it's like, maybe he felt bad. Maybe he came out because he felt bad. But I was like, at that point, you've already missed the assisting part of the special assistance. But thank you for coming out and pressing the button. I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure. I try to remain as positive and as neutral as I can in these things. It's just raining. It's just raining and there's no need for it. So yeah, that was my flight with the wheelchair. We'll see if I end up doing it again. When I end up doing it again, I'll bring you along as always. So thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next video.